I love to do it because, you know, people who don't know the channel, they'll lose interest and pop on to the next thing. Anyway, I'm going to give a little more time for folks to show up in the chat room. Sharina Lofton, beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your constant links and different things. You have a keen mind, and I really appreciate that. And pay the noises no mind. This is Accra, Ghana. There's a lot of activity going on behind us. It's all good. It's all organic, and it's a big improvement from the inner city, the inner cities of America. But today, I wanted to speak about something. I will be bringing more information to this platform, lots of it, stuff that you can use. We're always going to be entertaining, but this is a time to get a little more serious. You know, I don't want to come off like I'm somebody at an old nursing home. We left our rooms, we're sitting in the lobby watching TV, and we're just talking small talk. This is a time that we need to really get keen and plan to take some action, because there are a lot of things coming at us. And it's not fear-mongering. It's not none of that at all, but it's about being prepared, you know, being centered, not being in fear, but being prepared in different aspects. And this particular topic I'm going to talk about right now may not be something that one would understand as a person who's a non-content creator. You'll understand it because I brag on you guys all the time. Let me tell you something. We got some of the most intelligent minds on this platform, and not the type to rabble rouse and get petty. And you do have some who come and try to start that, but it doesn't last too long, right? So anyone who's a content creator will understand this even more so. You know, yes, Kenyatta Williams, thank you so much. Coach Bettis, thank you for being here. This is not going to be super long. I have to make a little run, but I'm going to do it like this every day. I have something else that's phenomenal that you haven't heard yet that I will be uploading, and it'll be up later on, and probably 2 or 3 things before I put my head to sleep. I have to start getting to bed on time. I have to. My body is telling me certain things that it's like, hey, listen, you're 60 years old next year. You got a lot of juice in your fruit. You're not old, but you have to make sure to take care of yourself. And that's what I'm going to do. Sleep is my issue. And I'll tell you why before we start the topic. Okay, right now it's 4:03. So for the East Coast, where my main aim is, and all over America, you know, once I take care of the East Coast time-wise, 3 hours later, the West Coast comes following behind. So because I'm over here in Accra, Ghana, and it is 4:03, it's no problem that I do something and it comes out there at noon, around noon, right? But what happens when I want to do a show targeted at 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast? That means I have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. If that show goes on for 3 hours, guess what? I'm up till 5. What I'll do is put up recorded information and shows late for me, you know, fresh stuff. I'm also going to start digging in the crates and dropping in the community area of this YouTube channel some of the old stuff that you've never heard before, because, you know, we put up stuff every day pretty much, so you don't have time to really go dig deep. So I'm going to start doing that, one a day, something interesting. I put up one there from over 10 years ago. I said, man, I've been doing this for a long time. Anyway, let's get right to it. This is not going to be long again. And many will say, well, why do I need to know that? You need to know that to know the entities that show up in these comment sections, you know, the chat rooms, not even just here. The U.S. government and all governments, but for us, the U.S. government, I am saying it, does not want certain information put out there. So they will send people to distract you. They will send people to distract you from the message that you're giving. They will come into the live chat rooms and try to start an argument. They'll come into the live chat rooms and start a conversation completely different from what you're watching. It's okay. You say hi to somebody, whatever. But these people come in and totally ignore everything that's being said. And they're in their own world, and they're trying to pull people attention-wise to them. How rude. That's how it works. Or they'll question what it is that you're saying. They'll try to dispute you. I never come on and say I know everything. I never come on and say that I have all of the facts. I will give you my opinion and perspective, which is my own personal set of facts, right? But if I don't know, I don't know. And I will never come to you and say, I know this. Most of the time, why most people can't dispute me is because I'm speaking of my own personal experiences. I am not going to dispute somebody and say this is wrong unless I research it to the utmost. And we have individuals like Beatrice Noel who goes in deep to research stuff. That's why I appreciate her so much, because she's with the real. She's not out here for whatever reasons of attention that she wants. She gets attention because she's the real thing. So let me just go ahead and speak about the 8 traits of the professional disinformationalist. Because it's not just, you see, we have people who are professional, and many find it hard to comprehend that the US government pays people to go into different chat rooms and message boards. They are paid to do this. They got big money to send over weaponry and money to the Ukraine. They got big money, billions and billions, to shoot it over to Taiwan. And this is all going to be one big mess. They got money for that. But guess what? The little bit of money they need to, say, employ a few thousand people, and why on social media? Because that's where the people are. And we have heavily compromised social media platforms. Many of you who have been here on this platform for a while know sometimes I would get banned because of things that I've said that they say is against the community guidelines. It's going to happen again. It might happen with this video. And when it does happen, always go to LANCESCURV.com, because I'm also on my own independent platform where I can do live streams on the site, right? And do everything and say more that I want to say, because I pay for that. And the help that I get in paying for that comes from you. And so that's why I thank you so much for maintaining this. But they don't like independence. We are in the age of censorship, more so than what most people understand. So while we have more beautiful Black women wiggling their backsides, I mean, I never had a heart attack from that. Maybe I might look at it for 3 or 4 seconds more than I should, but I understand what it is. And you're right, Sunkissed, it's very annoying. You know, it's very annoying. But let me just flash that across, because people watch this and say, well, what is he talking about? Yeah, it's a regular in this chat room. I ignore it and I will deal with it. And while I will ignore it for a while, I don't want folks to cry victim. You see what I mean? Oh, he's coming after me. No, but watch the movements. Watch who stay. And it doesn't mean you can't say hi, but listen, exchange numbers. But the whole time, this is like a meet and greet. We got important information to share. Now, if I'm talking some foolishness or whatever, fine. And I'm not an attention freak. I was supposed to be out of this house from 6 hours ago. It hit me to do this. It hit me to do the show that we did on another platform last night for almost 3 hours and get that ready. It's uploading now. I don't know when it will be ready, but it'll be ready before you all close your eyes. Really great show. Really great show on different spiritual, paranormal type stuff with Universe Coach. This was a good one. You don't want to miss this one. But like I said, social media is not there to be nice. When they made these things, they made it to get information from people, right? The technology was always there, but they created this thing and they gave it to us and we didn't question it. What if somebody walks up to you in the street and they hand you $10,000? They just hand you $10,000 and say, keep walking. I had to do this. It's yours. Spend it. Do you really question that? No, you'll look at them funny and like, what the hell you want to get? But you got that money in your hand, so you're glad, like, I got $10,000. Is there a gimmick? No. And he walks away. And you take the long way home because you don't know if anybody's going to follow you to get it back. You get home and you're like, I still don't believe this. You go out the next day and start spending money. I still don't believe this, because it was a good thing to you. It was a godsend. It came to you. out of nowhere. And I don't think any of us are going, I'm good in the money department. I don't need 10,000. You hand me $50 and throw it on the floor. I'm going to die for it. I ain't rich. I'm wealthy in energy and people and connection, but I ain't rich. I will be, and I'm going to use it to do what I need to do to help us. I'm not just saying that. I've been out here for a long time, not getting a penny. The donations come, fine. It goes right back into this. But the social media, look, it came after 911. See, before 911, we didn't have any privacy anyway. But after 911, we begged to have our privacy invaded because we had to get the big boogeyman, Bin Laden. Get him, please. Do this again. I can't take this. And so we called for our own doom. We always had computers. We were beginning to get more into the smartphones, but they were two separate entities. But all of a sudden, like Reese's peanut butter cup, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter. And the other person said, you got your peanut butter and my chocolate. And the internet was married to the phone. We didn't have to wait to get home to check our emails. I've said this before. You see what I mean? Like, remember back in the days? Oh, I can't wait to get home and check my emails. You had your phone, but it was impotent to go and check emails because we didn't have internet like that. See? So now you didn't have to rush home. You on your commute. You're not complaining about the commute anymore if you had an internet signal. You looking at all your video. Well, they didn't have YouTube back then. It came shortly after the marriage of the computer and the internet and the smartphone. But you weren't complaining anymore, you know? So now the gaps in your day were filled and you were grateful. You could entertain yourself. I had a friend of mine, he says, I don't even watch TV no more. I'm giving that TV away. I said, why are you giving your TV away? Well, there's a big screen TV, but all I have to do to emulate that is hold my phone closer to my face. I'm like, man, you crazy. So we got locked into the phones. Now, the phones are expensive. Of course, you don't want to drop it or leave it. You're going to make sure to hold on to your phone. But our minds got shackled by the phones and the internet. You see what I mean? So my thing is, they put out a lot of good stuff. Our attentions were captivated by what we saw. We can go back and relive old memories, old love songs. We can now communicate and find people that we haven't, depending on your age, talked to in 20 and 30 and 40 years. It's a cerebral crack pipe. Although there are good things in it, the bad outweighs the good. You have to have a mature adult filter on your mind to know what the heck is going on. People who complained about not having privacy. I'm not putting no picture up there. I need my privacy. They dropped their guard after a while and started posting pictures inside their home with all their loved ones. And the loved ones had their name tagged in it too. So you can go through somebody's whole family. Many people do that. I hate to say a percentage of what I think it is, but it's way over, and I'm talking about black folks now, and that's everybody too, but us I'm talking to. Over 50%, 51%. Is it 75? Is it 85? Is it 99? I don't know. So I'm not giving you a concrete number. I'm saying the majority of us do this. It's not I don't have the resources to figure out how many, but we have so much drama, so much gossip. People sending me pictures of my old girlfriend. Oh, look how fat she got. I don't need to know that. Just wish her the best. But with this infiltration into not only our minds, our communications, the privacy that we never had, comes other things. Compromised, not just YouTubers, but social media personalities who are there, who either lead you one way or influence you another way. And a lot of them are good. I mean, these are some slick talking dudes and females. Again, I'm not ignoring the good stuff. The good stuff that we indulge in that helps to amplify our life, because we can Google something, we can get on YouTube and learn a lot. I have learned a lot. But again, you have to have your filters up. So we have a lot of social media platforms that are government agents and paid by the government. See, some of them do things that I could never do because they won't get a community strike and get banned because they're looked out for. It's almost like, you know, when you're in the mafia and the restaurant pays you off and the one who didn't pay you off gets torched. So I'm going to get these bans. I'm going to get all this limitation. Let me tell you something. I don't care about numbers because their numbers are fake, but I've been at 108,000 subscribers from 2 years ago. Guess what I am now? 108,000 subscribers. The amount of emails that I get, so-and-so subscribed to you, so-and-so subscribed to you, but the numbers don't show that. Maybe I'm at 500,000, maybe I'm at 1 million. I don't know. I've been around for a long time, but I don't care about that right now. It's like a championship boxer who always made his defenses for the other organizations. He had 3 or 4 belts, and he made sure to do that. But now, you know what? Where I stand and what I stand for, I don't care about the belts no more. I don't care about the numbers. The people know when you're a champion or not. The people know when you're real or not. I got nothing to prove. I'm a regular dude. I just talk, and I just talk it like I say it. They will ban me again. I don't care. I have other ways of communicating. We're all over the place now. So these people who may have platforms are in the pocket of the government. Just like you have a judge who's going to try a case, but he's been in the pocket of the mafia or some organized crime ring. So when he renders his decision, it's in favor of the organized crime ring, but the proof is overwhelming. So it's like, wait a second. We had all these facts. We got the video. We got the surveillance. We got everything. People who testified against, and you still ruling in his favor? Because when the time comes for these people you trust and you swear up and down they're real, put me in the box. Don't trust me. Vet me. I'm not putting myself out of that. Vet me. I'm not going to put my personal business all the way out here, but I've been out here for years, which in fact doesn't mean anything because there are other people who have been out here for years. But watch when stuff goes down, how these people who you trust, who have gotten all up in your mind, how they start slightly influencing you, not turning around completely, but they're going to influence you this way. And the next one, that certain things aren't bad. Like these preachers out here who are afraid to speak about not taking the jab because they're government subsidized. With the status, what is it, 501(c)(3)? I don't know what it is. You please put it in the chat room for me. I can't retain everything. I know I got a big melon head, but I got a lot of data up there. I got to clear some out. I got to plug it in my ear and pull some of this out and condense it. Make a little more room. The same way those same preachers who speak about following the word of God, the Bible, and living by it, are afraid to speak out against the very abominations that are in that book. But we can say this, but we can't say that. The government has made these preachers very much a dysfunctional unit, a dysfunctional family where there's certain things you can't talk about. You ever date a girl if you're a man, or you ever date a man if you're a young lady? And I don't mean girl in the age, I mean like a woman, right? And they have a dysfunctional family and you're thinking they're normal. There is no normal. We all come from dysfunction, number one. But they work so hard to appear normal, but when you start to inquire to your significant other, they clam up, start acting weird because there are certain places with the dysfunctional family you just don't go. So you got to lay back and watch what's going on. You see a family where the mother never hugs the daughter, never hugs the children or the grown children. Something's wrong when they see them. Something's wrong. There's certain things so you see people who are emotionally distant and this and that. And so when you get with this person, you actually marry into, or even when you get a soul tie having sex with them and you're not super serious, but you're dealing with them, you pick up on that dysfunction. And so when the government gives a command to start trickling little things in the mind, like a controlled demolition to the people you follow in the millions or the hundreds of thousands of followers we've allowed you to get because you're working in tandem with 50 to 100 to 250 different influences. And after a while, you start to condone the decadence that you never believed in. You start to talk to two women or two men about, the state of their relationship. How are you going to have energies that are not supposed to touch? It doesn't relate to you. I'm not bashing you if you are, but somebody has to say it. I think I do these videos better when I'm hungry because I'm a little hungry. When I'm full, I don't know. I'm like a vicious animal now. And this is not going to be long because I haven't even started the topic yet. So that's what we're going to do. There's my various social media platforms that Twitter totally just bashed me, knocked me out. I had 32,000 followers in December 2020. They claim hate speech. Now I can't even get whatever. Instagram is cool. I'm going to work more with that. YouTube, of course, but the site, LANCESCURV.com, has got to be in your phone and the app. Let's let this roll about the app. You got to download that app. Everything is going to be on there. They shut me down. Go there and LANCESCURV.com. I can't stress it enough. People sometimes when I get banned, Lance, I haven't seen you for a long time and you ain't do no new videos. LANCESCURV.com, you'll get the latest stuff. We have to make an effort to communicate, all of us here, as much as you know them or don't know them. I'm not saying give everybody a number because you're on this platform, but thank you, Brother Yapple. Yes, thank you so much. 501c3. I think I said 501c or something like that. Sounds like some synthetic juice. Try our new grape flavored 501c, full of vitamin C, right? So anyway, this is it. We have all these shapeshifters to distract you from absorbing information. If it's too strong, they will shut you down. Because, see, they send their people to infiltrate the message boards in the chat rooms to distract you subtly. They have entities who you don't even know who they are, and you begin to trust them. But they're not there for the proper reasons. It's to diffuse what you're doing and work on you time and time again. You understand? So let's talk about this, and I have some more things that's going to pop in my head, and I got to get moving on. But again, like I said, I'll do several of these lives that are short, bang, 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 make a banner, do whatever, jazz it up, and do the other stuff too. And I'm bringing my camera with me. I ain't coming back until I have something from out there to share with you. Now, the title of this article is 8 Traits of the Disinformationalist. And a lot of things spoken here, you will understand, but you might not understand it all the way in context to social media. So always think about social media, because this was written in 1997. You had Black Planet, you had Lipstick Alley, and different sort of blogs with a bomb back then. And they were starting this stuff from back then. They know exactly what they're doing, because when the enemy starts, right, he does it in a long-term fashion. See, we living for the weekend. I'm not insulting anybody here. I'm not saying you all, but I'm just saying a lot of us black folks, man, we just, oh God, gotta get through the week. I can't wait until Friday gets here. What's Friday? It's another day. But you got this thing built up in your mind. Can't wait to get, and you suffering in the day that you're in when you should be enjoying it. You sitting there in mental shackles waiting for the weekend. And all you do is go buck wild with the substances that you do. Again, I'm talking in general. I'm not saying anything to anybody here. But this stuff is set up long before you knew what a Facebook was in 2005 and a YouTube in 2005. And whenever Instagram came years after that and all this other stuff, now we got the metaverse, y'all. We gone. We buying property in the metaverse. And guess what? It's going to be worth something until they crash it again. They have pulled us so far out of reality, and the professional disinformationalist has a role in that, because they are paid by the US government to infiltrate platforms like this, to distract, to start conversations and go against stuff and people and take it away from. And then now the government, they can make YouTube not even make your stuff seen. I got videos from 10 years ago. 3 hits. Now, some of them in my budding years, as I learned this, it may have been something casual. But have you ever, not even just my channel, but have you ever gone to another channel and say, my God, this is such a good video. It should have more traction and more mileage on it and more hits than this. And then you get a stupid character, some dude wearing a pink wig and a mini skirt saying something stupid over and over, and the floodgates are open and they allow people to come in because it's to distract you. Because whenever you see some type of video now I'm not talking about all of them now. You have worthwhile, solid stuff because there's good stuff out here. I'm not hating because I'm shadow banned. I'm not hating because the subscription numbers don't go up. I'm not hating. I'm beyond that. Let me tell you something. Very soon, we all may not even be dealing with the internet, because when something goes down, they're going to have cyber attacks and shut the internet down. This is why I keep my content independent of YouTube. Because for all the hours we sit there and spend, we're going to look back and say, what the hell was I? Unless you're doing something constructive. I say, I wasted all those years just sitting in front of a screen, not living life. I got to do this in limited dosages. I'm going down to the herbal store, the Ghanaian herbal store. They got the real stuff they don't even have out there in America. And I got some concoctions to get for my body. And I will be in the bed, midnight for me, looking up at the ceiling, dozing off. I got to get back right with the sun. The son looks at me and says, I ain't got no raise for you. I don't know who you are. Where you been? I say, yo, I'm Lance. Shine on me. You got to prove. You got to prove to me you're Lance. And I do. But anyway, I start in the morning. I got to get myself to a body of water. I got to get myself to the beach. Got to get myself up to the mountains. I got to go traveling to them and live life. I can't even let this take up so much time anymore. I will be more efficient and probably put up more stuff. But I have to be able to do what it is that I have to do in life, because life this time next year, the year after that, is going to change drastically. The social credit system that nobody else is talking about, that Biden signed in March of this year. Why don't we hear more about that? Because see, that's going to have to cause me to go super underground, because they're going to look at everything I said and be like, yeah, we're going to mess him up. We're going to make it where he can't buy too many things. Because it's directly tied to social media, which shows that this was the plan all along, because we speak what's on our mind. And I do. And I've always been that way, and I can't stop. So do what you got to do. I get somebody else to buy some stuff for me, and I'm going to get it anyway. But this is about control. And to have control, you have to control the minds of the people. You know that little puppy you used to whip when it gets out of line? The puppy grew to a huge dog that can tear you up. But he doesn't know that he's not a puppy anymore. See, we have more freedom and more mobility than we think we have, but we're trapped because we got the shackles around our mind. Why can't you get up in the morning time and go walking and do a little jog, no matter how big you are? Oh, I can't exercise because, and we start looking for excuses. You shoving all the bad stuff in your mouth, sitting down all day, and I can't do that. Well, then you just die. You're supposed to breathe and live and vibrate. And no matter how much sun I don't get and how much I stay up at night, I'm gonna have the drive. I don't care. I'm not hyperactive for a reason. You should see me when I was 5 years old. I was a battery. And you know what? I'm a battery at 90%. I'll give a little bit for the prior 60 years. I'm not as much of it, but I'm going to be charged back up to 100. Now, let's get on with this. 8 Traits of the Disinformationalist. I'm going to read it slow. By H. Michael Sweeney. I'm giving you the information. I'm not taking credit for this stuff. I just felt I would pass it along because it resonated with me. Copyright 1997 and 2000, all rights reserved. It's not long. One of the tactics and traits and tie this into social media. And remember, the man who wrote it didn't know social media as it is now. So it may seem vague, like what is he talking about? Number 1 out of 8, avoidance. They never actually discuss issues head on or provide constructive input, generally avoiding citation of references or credentials. Rather, they merely imply this, that, and the other. Virtually everything about their presentation implies their authority and expert knowledge in the matter without any further justification for credibility. They state things that are fact. This is me talking now. They state things that are facts. They come off with an arrogant, and they want to dispute somebody who can prove their stuff with their little flim-flam, watered down stuff and data that they cannot prove. But they're so passionate about it that people will go on to believe it. Number 2, selectivity. They tend to pick and choose opponents carefully, either applying the hit and run approach against mere commentators supportive of opponents, or focusing heavier attacks on key opponents who are known to directly address issues. Should a commentator become argumentative with any success, the focus will shift to include the commentator as well. I did a show for the first time, I did several, with Minister Akbar Muhammad of the Nation of Islam. He's the second in command in the Nation of Islam. Farrakhan's the man, but he's the one really back in the kitchen cooking the food and doing the stuff, and he's just as important. Well, Minister Issa Vibrant White Muhammad connected with me when I met him, and he let me get that first interview. After that, Dr. Issa and Akbar, Brother Akbar, they came to my house with a little visual thing for a short time before he got to the airport. Would you believe that as much as I promoted that video, as a side note, it hasn't even crossed 500 hits yet. We're talking about Minister Akbar. Even if you don't know who he is, if you hear him open his mouth, as well versed and traveled as he is, and he spoke about Russia several years ago when he came on. So I'm not saying he's some prophet, but he's well experienced in world affairs. I think a little more experienced than the one above him, who I love very much. But when that show came on live on Blog Talk Radio, there was another person who had a platform, had a website, had his own followers and stuff. And wouldn't you believe, I always knew something was up with this guy because he was always trying to be argumentative. And I don't do politics like that. I don't know politics like that. So that's not going to be my strong point. It was his strong point. So he had a lot of people who were deep into the politics. He wasn't talking unity about black people. And we need to forget that we don't have to vote in unity. We should have it within ourselves. Stop looking at, if you need the roads fixed, fine. Need the lights on your block on, fine. Certain things, fine. They work for you. But don't depend them. I'm getting hyped. Let me slow it down a little bit. Don't depend on them to liberate you, to unify you, to bring about change and revolution that you need. We sit down and we listen to the silky, sweet, velvety tongues of these people. And every 4 years, maybe they studied that. Well, do it every 4 years instead of every year, and here comes the next savior. Barack Obama been in office twice and he's gone. And we all feel like that chick laying in the bed lonely on a Friday night after we gave it up to this man who said that he loved us, and it's been weeks since he's even given a call. He ain't paying you no mind. He ain't paying you no mind. Politics ain't paying you no mind. Watch them devils and what they do, right? And you can do things against them properly. So don't twist my words around. But you'll have these people who they go after the commentators, they go after, and what this guy did, I'll never forget it. Now, we know that there's lots of rumors and hearsay about Farrakhan and Minister Malcolm X, right? We know that thing that's good, that the government says it's this way or that way, but the rumors go on. You have some people on both sides of the coin of that debate. I'm not even going to say what it is. Y'all know what it is. If you don't know that, you don't need to know. Here we have Minister Akbar Muhammad of the Nation of Islam on, and I was selective on who I let in to talk to him. Because when you have somebody really popular, all of a sudden you have all these people now. Hey, Lance, my buddy, my pal, can I get into saying something to him? But something in my spirit said, I'm not letting him in, because he crossed me a couple times before, but he didn't know that I knew that. See, with an enemy, art of war, I'll fool the enemy. I'm dealing with, hey, how you doing? So. But I know what you're saying behind my back. I know people screenshot stuff and send it to me. They want to corrode what you're building. They want to take it over so they can use what you took all these years to build for their benefit. And that's how the government appeals to these agents. Well, I said, listen, because we were talking on Facebook while the Blog Talk show was going on. I said, what is it that you want to say? I'll forward the question to him. And he got mad because he just knew that he had a chance of getting in. Oh, man, you ain't SHIT. Everybody saw it. You ain't. That Facebook page is dead. I don't do Facebook page or like the LANCESCURV show Facebook page. I will never do that again. Never. Because it became infested. But all of these people, 24 hours going against each other, people wanting to get everybody's business. No. It was destructive to me. So he cussed me out. And he said, well, I was going to ask, who did he think killed Malcolm X? I said, boy, I would have found him wherever he was and kicked his world behind if he got to my, and it wasn't like I was afraid to talk about things. It wasn't about that. Why are you going to hit that man with that question? He ain't got nothing to do with that. He may know certain things with it. This is not the time for that. That man was an agent. Because he knew, and the people behind him knew, that I was going to allow Minister Akbar Muhammad to say whatever it is that he wanted to say. You all be the judge. You assess what he said. There are people who get mad at me for letting people talk. Sometimes I'll vehemently disagree with what somebody's saying, but I let them talk and let you figure it out. I'm not going to promote the Ku Klux Klan on this channel. I'm not going to promote LGBTQ on this channel, but I have had a Klansman and I've had LGBTQ people on here so you know what they're thinking. Other channels will get people on and battle them. A lot of people who own the channels will battle them because of ego. I got ego enough to be strong. Look, like they were saying, I don't have ego and I do have ego. It depends on the situation. Not trying to clean it up. I'm just saying like this. If you're a championship boxer, you better have some ego and belief in yourself. So when I say I have no ego, I have no excess ego that's going to get in the way of the progression and the overall ascension of what I'm trying to do here as a body of work. So therefore, I cut off all that extra stuff, but I have just enough gas in the tank to get me where I'm going, the gas of ego. See? So I'm humble, but I'm not some weak person. Look, you come at me the wrong way, I will get up in your ass. But I'm always going to respect the person initially. I'll even take it for the peace because I know I don't want to end up locked up somewhere from what I do to a person. And I ain't a tough guy. I'm a passionate guy. And my passion will go where it needs to go. But you'll have people who will try to use your thing for their benefit in many ways. And that's a whole different topic. Now, let's go to coincidental. They tend to surface suddenly and somewhat coincidentally with a new controversial topic with no clear prior record of participation in general discussions in the particular public arena involved. They likewise tend to vanish once the topic is no longer of general concern. They were likely directed or elected to be there for a reason and vanish with that reason. So you got to watch the movements. Some people can stick on you every day. Some come out of nowhere, want to drop their egg on you and leave without a trace. I had a woman or two women. They know who they are. And look, if you ain't like it, come say something, I'll blow your name up. I was so kind when they said that they wanted to come down to Orlando, Florida to learn certain things on social media and building a platform, which I am not the guru, but folks know that I do what I do. I'm a mom and pop store compared to a Walmart or a Target. But I do all right for myself because I handle every aspect of what I do. That way, how you going to infiltrate one person's mind? How you going to infiltrate it? I have folks work along with me, but me, it's in my head what I'm going to do. And the more and more I move in an unexpected manner. So I was a little more open back in those days. It's like, oh, I would love to come down, and sit with you for a week or so and just watch how you do things. And the person came down. This is one person, there's another one. There's two of them, but they both had the same mission. When they came down, they were like, okay, what's a good hotel, whatever. And after I hung out with them, I said, you know what? You can come on over and come out of the crib. But these are women now. Mr. SCURV had no problem with it because she knows how I get down. So I had my little room studio, the original one that was black with the yellow stripes, which I'm going to emulate that when I finish this next studio, which is much bigger. So they came around. I had other friends that were passing through that were staying there, and we all had a good time. But she never really pushed to learn anything. I'm like, okay. Little 2 or 3 days hanging out, but when we going to get down to business? Because at that time I was still doing my stuff every day, but they showed no interest. Now other things went on that I won't repeat right now, but clearly the way they came at me when Mr. SCURV wasn't around, okay, I see what this is. You're trying to get me caught up in something so you can go blurb it out. It ain't happening. See what I mean? And so when they left, after not succeeding in their mission, you never heard from them again. There were other people who heard them on the platform and said, well, what happened to, I don't know what happened. You search them, you get hackers that say, they gone. Was that the government? I don't know. Remember, there were other things that I saw that I won't say, right? Now there's another one who was always on the shows. And she did the same thing. I want to come down. Okay, no problem. Did videos and live shows and yeah. And after the last live show, I'm going to jump to this. I'm going to say this part. Listen to this. I don't care. Because they hooked up with people who were against me before. See, I'm giving you a peek into how vicious it can be beyond somebody in the chat room or the comment section. After the couple of days that they were there, and Mr. SCURV was fast asleep because I'm a night bird. She gets up early, gets in that yard if she's not working, and does the stuff with her plants. She out there talking to them, kissing on them, loving them. Look, Lance, the plants are waving at you. She loves her plants. So check it out. We were done about 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Mr. SCURV went to bed late. She knew that. So she's probably going to sleep late. Oh, let me go on in this room. We had it all nice, little guest room and everything. Let me go on in this room and just work this dildo. What am I going to do? Look at that. I'm like, what, you just maybe come in there and hit you off? Right here? Never anywhere. But even if it was years ago and I was single but had a girl, I'm not doing that. Well, respected Lance, where is this person? We don't see them anymore. But the main thing I wanted to say, because I'm telling y'all, I don't always say the things I go through. There's a whole crap load of stuff I can say about people who are not here anymore. And it's legit. And when they fall off, that's not my way to say anything. Find them, follow them, worship them. But if they're not around me, it's for a reason. That same woman, when I was in the living room it wasn't the living room. It was the kitchen table. And by this point, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I had my computer and I had spoken to a moderator, a Google moderator, who can go in and find out some things for me because some funny business was going on. And at this point, I didn't realize that how the police go to arrest the police? I'm asking a question to the Google moderator. They damn sure knew what was going on. A little funny business was going on with my moderators in the room. All these new moderators added in. I didn't add them in there. I take them out, they come back. So she had her computer. She was using mine, which was a mistake. She had her computer and she was talking about old relationships and who's spying on her, who's completely paranoia. Who am I to say? There was some legit things she said, but the other stuff was quackery. So she got on my computer and I said, okay, at this point, I'm going to do some things to this computer that Google says, strip away all the moderators, strip everything down, and let them go through everything to see what's going on, which they never gave me an answer. I went in the bedroom to talk to Mr. Scurv. She was dozing off. We had stuff to do the next day. I went to confirm with her, okay, we're going to do this, that. That's the way I do. If I know I'm going to do something the next day, I confirm, like, okay, we don't know what time. When we wake up, we're going to do this. And by the time I came out, homegirl was on my computer, adding in people as a moderator because my account was open. But she thought she can do it and get away with it. And the names of these people, some weirdo names. Like these were bots or some to allow someone to go through and come into my account. And so I said, listen, you messed me up. This thing was going on for about 45 minutes. Now I got to start all over again. Oh, I didn't know. I specifically told her. After she left, that computer was history. And it wasn't an old computer. But I already knew what she was trying to do to that computer. I've said it before. There's a brother I met on the bus. He used to come by and I knew he was deep into the whole computer thing, but he had a job. He fixed my stuff successfully. My last big computer that I had big problems with, he tinkled with it and said he had to come back and do more work on it again. My hard drive was switched. And the Indian dude I went to go, like he's a cool guy, but I always try to support my own. Oh my God, what's going on? He stole your hard drive and he did this. He must be working for the government. The way is, I know these things. It's like, oh, snap. So me, I'm moving in silence. I'm going to be moving more mysteriously as the time goes by. Know that I love you all and you know, but I got to move like that. Even right now, there's things I will not say. I'm not paranoid. This is the reason why I want to put this information out. Because it's not like you're going to see this article and jump on it first. Oh my God, 8 traits of the professional disinformationalist. Yeah, that's just no, but this is the real thing. And this dude spoke this guy is like, he's a prophet because it wasn't around like that and he knew it. Now, teamwork, number 4. They tend to operate in self-congratulatory or complimentary packs or teams. See, that builds up credibility. When new people that come in all are congratulating each other and loving on each other and everything, and a new person, or even an old person, like, wow, they must be really respected. That's teamwork. That's in a way like good cop, bad cop, except ain't nobody acting like the bad cop. But with all this love going around, I can relax and give more information and trust these people, right? Of course, this can happen naturally in any public forum, but there will likely be an ongoing pattern of frequent exchanges of this sort where professionals are involved. Sometimes one of the players will infiltrate the opponent's camp to become a source or for straw man or other tactics designed to dilute opponent's presentation strength. So you can't align yourself with everybody that you don't know. Where did you come from? Who are you? That was a song back in the early 70s, mid 70s. You don't know. It's so easy to put up a fake avatar. It's so easy to have multiple avatars. So you think this ain't the person you talked to 5 minutes ago and you talking to them and they siphoning out more information out of you because your guard is up against the other one. And look at how social media is now. And he spoke about that then. Number 5, anti-conspiratorial. They almost always have this disdain for conspiracy theorists, and usually for those who in any way believe John F. Kennedy was not killed by Lee Harvey Oswald. Ask yourself why. If they hold such disdain for conspiracy theorists, do they focus on defending a single topic discussed in a news group focusing on conspiracies? One might think they would either be trying to make fools of everyone on every topic or simply ignore the group they hold in such disdain. Or one might more rightly conclude they have an ulterior motive for their actions and going out of their way to focus as they do. See, there are people I know in the flesh and people that I know just online that when certain topics come up, they always there. They ain't nowhere near, nowhere around. But when certain particular topics come up, they're there, hook, line, and sinker. And they come around so nice at first. If it's a show that lasts about 3 hours long, they're going to be there. They're going to come in nice. But then if you allow them to call in, they're going to try to hit you with a question or distract you. Okay, people know I didn't move out here to live in an apartment. But there are people who come into this chat room or you open the lines and ain't got nothing to do with the topic. Hey, Lance, how's your house coming along? Negro, I got to move in silence. I can tell a little bit. Why would you ask me that in front of, unbelievable. Certain things you don't say. I ain't telling. I'll be like, no, call me up directly and I'll tell you about it. And I ain't telling you about it. But to just come out and want to distract and make you a target. I'm going to say this. I don't care who don't like it. Because I'm going all out. I might be banned next week and never can come on YouTube again. Lance, there are people stealing people's money and they're ripping them off. And these are people who are moving from America to UK and they're taking money and selling one plot of land to 10 people. And it's true. And people have spoken about that. But I live here now. And they lock up journalists for coming against the government. And a lot of the crooks here are tied in to, I ain't gonna say it, I just said the word. I don't know the terrain here. I don't know who's who here. You have very powerful businessmen who are tied into the underworld. I ain't mentioning no names, I'm gonna say it one time. So why are you asking me to be the front runner to blow up this person who's connected to this politician who's going for election and has a lot of thuggery going on where you disappear? I don't touch those things. I'm here to live nice and relax as I go into the twilight in the fourth quarter of my life. I ain't want no trouble. If you want to call me a coon, call me a coon. This here is not my fight because I don't know what's up. I know what's up in America. I will talk like I talked when I was there, and I have no fear, but this is not my fight. I'll speak to people in private about certain observations I have. I will talk about scammers in general. But when you realize when scammers are in court and win their case time and time again, when it's obvious they're doing something, they got somebody in the pocket. And I don't know how it is here. My own neighborhood up in Queens, New York, where I grew up, born in Manhattan, I knew who was selling drugs. I knew who was selling booty. I knew what homo was going out there giving blowjobs at night and acting straight with his family. I knew who was doing what. I don't know out here what's going on. And I'm out here to relax and continue my work. And I ain't scared, but I'm not going to do nothing and turn around. Listen to this. Turn around and these people don't want to show their face, show their name. Okay, you don't have to show your name, but they don't want to participate. You turn around in the battle they got you pumped up for. You turn around, ain't nobody behind you, backing you up. And I get messed up. So you're not really genuine in what you said what happened to you? The purpose of you wanting to come to me to put out the story or go in on somebody was because I'm here and it'll be easy to get rid of me because I'm off of American soil. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? There'll be a little people putting out, things, but just like in yesterday's show, after you're gone, people forget. I know my folks here. They love me and I love you too. And all the governments work together. You're right. This is hell. You're right. America's right here. And if I go mouthing off about something else, they can say, well, it's them over there because, I know. And I'm still incognito. Still. But I'm not going to stop doing what I do. So these people are trying to set you up and then disappear. I got the platform. Come on to the discussion forum. I set it up for them. Ain't nobody saying nothing. But they sending me stuff on WhatsApp every day. What happened? You don't want to do it? What happened? You don't want to come on and it happened to you. You don't want to talk about it? See that? I'm not stupid. Let me get to the next one. Number 6, artificial emotions, because there's 8 of them, so we'll be done soon. Number 6, artificial emotions. An odd kind of artificial emotionalism and unusually thick skin. An ability to persevere and persist even in the face of overwhelming criticism and unacceptance. We're talking about these people who come in these chat rooms and do different things, but no matter what you say, it don't get to them. But they're passionate about what they say. You can prove things wrong, but they got a thick skin because they're there for that reason. An ability to persevere and persist even in the face of overwhelming criticism and unacceptance. It's almost like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, right? This likely stems from intelligence community training that no matter how condemning the evidence, deny everything and never become emotionally involved or reactive. See, these people are trained by the government, y'all. These ain't, who got time in a time when you're trying to make money, the time when everybody trying to get you to take the jab, people losing their jobs, to sit here on a chat room or a comment section or news group and spend all that time investing yourself if you ain't getting a little piece of paycheck from somebody. And it ain't like they give these people millions of dollars either, right? Okay, the net result for a disinfo artist is that emotions can seem artificial. Most people, if responding in anger, for instance, will express their animosity throughout their rebuttal. But disinfo types usually have trouble maintaining the image and are hot and cold with respect to pretended emotions, and they're usually more calm or unemotional communication style. It's just a job, and they often seem unable to act their role in character as well in a communications medium as they might be able in a real face-to-face conversation / confrontation, because it's just a job to them, and they have certain goals to reach. So their anger will seem not so authentic because it's not real. You have a job of disinformation and rouse up the people against the person who has the platform and debunk them. That's all you're there to do. When you're a hitman, you're not thinking, oh, this person has a family and they have kids. No, you're a hitman. Pay me my money. You gave me half. I'm about to do the job. Give me the other half of the amount. I don't care. I got my family. You see what I mean? So here we go. I lost my place. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start with this one. It's just a job, and they often seem unable to act their role in character as well in a communications medium as they might be able in a real face-to-face conversation, confrontation. You might have outright rage and indignation one moment, ho-hum the next, and more anger later, an emotional yo-yo. With respect to being thick-skinned, no amount of criticism will deter them from doing their job, and they will generally continue their old disinfo patterns without any adjustments to criticism of how obvious it is that they play that game. Where a more rational individual who truly cares what others think might seek to improve their communication style, substance, and so forth, or simply give up. How about that? Jasmine, I see you want to talk about it. Whichever way. This was a short one, but if you want to come in, I'll let you come on in. But let me just finish reading this. Just let me know in the chat room if you want to come in. All right. Number 7, inconsistent. There is also a tendency to make mistakes which betray their true self / motives. This may stem from not really knowing their topic, or may be somewhat Freudian, so to speak, and that perhaps they really root for the side of truth deep within. I have noted that often they will simply cite contradictory information which neutralizes itself and the author. For instance, one such player claimed to be a Navy pilot, but blamed his poor communicating skills, spelling, grammar, incoherent style, on having only a grade school education. Now, this is what he says now. I'm not aware of too many Navy pilots who don't have a college degree. Another claimed no knowledge of a particular topic situation, but later claimed firsthand knowledge of it. Those are those inconsistencies, and you have to watch for that. You have a lot of liars in these chat rooms, and they'll give a partial truth. But then when you dig deeper, there's something else missing. See, me, I tear it all out, make you see it, everything. I don't care. At this part of my life, I got no shame. I got nothing to hide. I'm not going to sit there in front of you at a picnic where there's no bathroom. Oh my God, I'm suffering and dookie up my pants. I'll be like, yo, if y'all want to look, look. If you don't want to look, don't look. I'm going by that tree. I'm taking a dump. Give me some paper and some hand sanitizer. You want to see the veins come out my neck when I push? Even though I don't eat that way to have to push. At this point in the game, there is no shame. There's nothing to try to pretend to be this and pretend to be that. If I don't answer certain things, it's inappropriate. Like the people who come into the, oh, what are you doing with this? And how much did you pay for this? And what? No. I've had enough agents come and sleep under my roof who had bad intentions, not of killing anybody. Because when them people was over there still, I slept with one eye open. You ain't going to get me like that. But to try to use and coerce and seduce and use those things against you. And then they vanish into thin air. After taking their time and getting known on the platform and people trusting them, then they vanish. See, that's the work they do. And when they go, and here comes somebody else. Now, number 8 and the last one, time constant. Recently discovered with respect to new groups is the response time factor. There are 3 ways this can be seen to work, especially when the government or other empowered players is involved in a cover-up operation. Number 1, any news group, and he meant like message boards and stuff. That's what they called it back then, but it encompasses all things social media, right? Any news group posting by a targeted proponent for truth can result in an immediate response. The government and other empowered players can afford to pay people to sit there and watch for an opportunity to do some damage. I got to say that one again. The government and other empowered players can afford to pay people to sit there and watch for an opportunity to do some damage. Don't you think they can pay somebody $300 a day to watch every single video and be on there when it's live, or watch everything, watch every Facebook? Look, if you got to assign one person, you're going to watch their Facebook, you're going to watch their emails, because you're giving you the power to get into their emails, right? YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. We are assigning this person to be all up in your business. And they figure out, okay, she's a girl in the hood. We'll give her $100 a day. She'll be glad. That's $36,000 in a year. The next person who may be a little more affluent, maybe they have a drug habit, or, you know, they get people with habits. You sit there and that's all you have to do. And we're going to give you 10 personalities. We'll work on that. You don't have to touch that. So that when one comes at you, that's the one you trust, and another, oh, that's just a stranger. How many times have you been on this platform? They don't do it that much. You'll have 10 people come in. I had one time, I don't know who might remember that, but one day we were doing a live show, and I think it was something very crucial as far as information that I wasn't scared to talk about. And all of a sudden, we had 10 LANCESCURVs flood the chat room with my avatar, with my picture, everything. And it said LANCESCURV, but the spelling was slightly different. It might have been Lance.SCURV, but people don't look at that. It might be LANCESCURV _. It might be underscore and then LANCESCURV. But it was so much, and guess what those LANCESCURVs are doing? They targeted the women and asked them questions. I always wanted to suck so-and-so. I always wanted, and they got to them privately. Don't know how they did that, but Lance, I got an email, man. I know it ain't you saying that to me. I know, I mean, look, you might be a little freaky, might think that, but you ain't gonna say that to me. You understand? So because of the integrity and how I deal with people, I'll talk with people on closer levels, different ways of communicating. They shared some very intimate things with me, and I ain't telling nobody. I'm keeping it where it is. But that's what they did. And when they realized they couldn't damage my integrity, because I'm like, look how it's spelled, that's not me. And they said, we know it's not you. But it was shocking to see stuff publicly and privately. They left it alone. Try it next. Because like I say, I live like a monk. I live a very Spartan lifestyle because of this. And I love it. I still hang out when I want to, but nobody knows where I hang out. And I don't mean hang out like I'm going to the club. There are times I've walked into some nightclubs. I did it on Instagram to show you what's there. I sat down, I enjoyed the music and seeing the people. I go everywhere. There's that area called Osu. There's our brother who has a cell phone company. He's opened up certain restaurants. The building was his friend's building he built. I talk with them. Built in the same area. I plan on talking and interviewing some of the whores. What is it like being a prostitute in Ghana? You know what I mean? Send me a crackhead. Let me talk to him. Send me a business owner. Send me a banker. I talk to everybody. So if I'm sitting there talking to a chick on the corner and her titties are half hanging out, don't take a picture and try to smear me. That is what I do. Human nature. Everybody has a story to tell. But I'm going to do it in a way that's going to be interesting because I'm going to be real with it. I ain't going to focus on no one thing. But I'm not worried about, like they say in the church, oh, you must be leery and what you do can't have the appearance of some. I don't care about no damn appearance. If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. Ooh, I'm not sitting here with the ever diminishing chronological time I have on this earth to worry about what the hell somebody's saying. If there's a homo who loves to do graphics and can teach me something, brother, come on over. I'll make you some food to make sure. SCURV, you got to do it this way. Now, if you see him come in here, be like, I don't know about Lance, man. I think he's flipping the script. No, I'm not. I'm not going to worry about what you say about me. That's the problem with us. We slow down ourselves too much because we worried about what they think. And guess what? They going to think that anyway. They going to think something anyway. I could be standing on the bus stop next to a chick who's sucking on a lollipop. Yeah, I think SCURV messing with her. Because of my riddled past that I've been very open about, every woman next to me, I'm screwing. I hope I don't have to push a granny in a wheelchair. Oh, yeah, I know SCURV trying to get some head from her. That's your mind. That's not my mind. I can flap my wings freely because I'm not worried about that. Go on in the archives and see all the different people I talked about, but talk with. I ain't no Freudian slip because I talked about them too in front of their face if I disagreed. That's what I do, and I'm free. So let me get reading. I know I done lost my area. I lost my, okay, boom. Let's just read this. Okay, I'm gonna go straight to this because it's the last one. Number one, and this is about time constant. Any news group posting by a targeted proponent for truth can result in an immediate response. The government and other empowered players can afford to pay people to sit there and watch for an opportunity to do some damage. Since this information in a news group only works if the reader sees it, fast response is called for, or the visitor may be swayed toward truth. Number two, when dealing in more direct ways with a disinformationalist, such as email, delay is called for. There will usually be a minimum of 48 to 72 hours of a delay. This allows a sit-down team discussion on response strategy for the best effort and effect, and even enough time to get permission or instruction from a formal chain of command. Chain of command? This ain't no people just working on their own. These are teams of people who are trained. This ain't Sinead down the block with these little extra money. She don't know how to handle that. Even smart people don't know how to knee jerk. You got to be trained in this. So since I'm in this for so many years, I'm telling you, I know what I see. I'm just breaking this down so you can see the tactics. And this was written 25 years ago. Ain't that something? The Twin Towers was still up and the plan wasn't put into effect yet. Number three, in the news groups, example one above, it will often also be seen that bigger guns are drawn and fired after the same 48 to 72 hours delay. The team approach in play. This is especially true when the targeted truth seeker or their comments are considered more important with respect to potential to reveal truth. Thus, a serious truth sayer will be attacked twice for the same sin. And this is what he wrote. the author, right? I close with the first paragraph of the introduction to my unpublished book, Fatal Rebirth. Fatal Rebirth, but it was unpublished at that time. Maybe we search it, we can find it. Here's what he said. Truth cannot live on a diet of secrets, withering within entangled lies. Freedom cannot live on a diet of lies, surrendering to the veil of oppression. The human spirit cannot live on a diet of oppression, becoming subservient in the end to the will of evil. God, as truth incarnate, will not long let stand a world devoted to such evil. Therefore, let us have the truth and freedom our spirits require, or let us die seeking these things. For without them, we shall surely and justly perish in an evil world. Hope I didn't bore you too much, but I had to put it out there. I'm not taking credit for this. And the man's name is H. Michael Sweeney. H. period. Don't know what his first name is. H. Michael Sweeney. Sweeney, SWEENEY. SWEENEY. His email address, if he's alive and still, is hms@proparanoid.com. I'm going to spell it out. hms@pro, paranoid, common spelling.com. I'd like to see get a response from that because I really appreciate it. And this was just a surface article. Could you imagine how deep it goes? Could you imagine if he's still alive and doing this type of work, how much more he has to share? See? It's yeah. I'm gonna put it this, if for some reason more than making me angry, all of that is just incredibly sad to me. It is. But we've opened our minds. I'm not just saying you, brother, but as a collective, we've opened our minds to the pretty little bells and whistles of social media. We don't have to look. The postal service is what good are they for? We can send an instant message or text. We don't have to write on paper and mail it. We used to have to get calling cards to call to another country, and you always had that Caribbean lady in that store who knew the call. You'd get a card. Listen, young man, you don't need to get that one because you don't get enough minutes. Okay. Calling cards are gone. Now we got WhatsApp. Why you think they gave us WhatsApp? We call all over the world, no matter where it is now, for free. What do we have to give up for that when it's Facebook that owns it, right? And Mark Zuckerberg tied into the CIA. I'm not saying it to anybody here. I have to say this off my chest. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? I don't mean anybody here, but somebody out there is stupid. There's a reason why. Oh, you should. Yeah, it was a good show until I heard you say, oh, you stupid. You shouldn't be saying that. Well, then go complain to those who, Merriam-Webster and all these other people who make dictionaries and put the word in there. Some of us breathe life into that world. In that word, excuse me. Yeah, in the world too. Because words are very powerful. Isn't that something? They gave us all of this for what? Ain't nobody giving you nothing in this world like that. They want to hear who you're talking to, what you're saying, and they have the technology to listen to every conversation. And when you say certain keywords, they come at you. If you say the word president, I'm only going to say two words. If you say the word KILL or BOMB, and they check you out, they ain't going to physically come after everybody. If they really feel through your profile and your history that you are a viable threat, like they knew about the guy who went to shoot up Buffalo, they followed him and they knew him already. They knew him already. They knew what he was up to. But because he was coming after black people, nobody cared. Let it go. Let it rip. Matter of fact, that was a mission. Drive all them miles. Listen, look, you can have my favorite food in the restaurant somewhere. I'm not driving all the miles. I'm not. Especially when you got Mrs. SCURV, she can whip up the same thing and if not better. So we really have to open up our eyes. Let's use social media as we can to get as much information, download as much as you can. But even if you download, things can be shot out to make what you download not usable. We go back to the prehistoric ways. I'll call it that way. Look, everything you depend on now, try to find some way of not depending on it. We don't memorize phone numbers anymore. We don't even call people directly anymore. We depend on even emails. And that could be shot down. Do you know where your loved ones are, where they live? What happens? Because look, they're looking at this thing like China and Russia and America. Whatever happens with all of these governments together and what they're reporting, it may not be all that. It could be the world takeover. So we're looking at Russia, we're looking at China. They all could be in the bed together, like secret lovers. Secret lovers, that's what we are. Putin Biden the butt, and the other one there, Ping Pang Pong Jing Zhang, or whatever his name is. He and they're licking both of them. You don't know what kind of sick, twisted orgy of power they have. But guess what? Whatever goes down, you know what's going to happen? Whenever it goes down, it's going to be the internet being shut off. And most of us going to be, we can't call them. Look, that happened a couple of years ago with YouTube. They shut it down. I don't know if it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes. You know how many people are calling me? Like, do you know YouTube? It's just shut down. I was like, so? I didn't show an attitude to them, but I'm ready to depart this thing. I don't want to. I like it. I love all of you here. But all good things must come to an end. Once this mission accomplished and what they want to do to us on so many other levels, it's a wrap. No more. You'll be looking at this like, man, that was the good old days. Every time we lose something, we always go back, man, that was the good old days. When you're going through some prison stuff. Ain't that something? Well, these are the good old days on certain levels, and they're not because, you know, they fattening us up. How many turkeys and how many chickens ran around in the yard and said, oh man, I'm free, I'm eating, and the one who owns me is fattening me up and I'm healthy. Because they fattening up your ass. So they have a plumper chicken and a plumper turkey to eat. They ain't doing it for you. Hey girl, let me take you out. Yeah, before that, let's go shopping. Whatever you want. Get a couple of outfits. Get some shoes too. Let's get some jewelry. Oh, he's so nice. Well, later on, you're going to find out how nice he is, and you'll probably like it. But that was why he was so nice to you. Like the turkey and the chicken that didn't know why they were being fattened up. If I do something, I'm doing it sincere. And even back in the day when I was in my wild days, I'm letting you know. I'm not doing this to get that. I'm doing it sincerely. But if you want to give that, I might take it. And if that's not on the table, I'm not mad because I had a lot of that's to go to. I ain't say thoughts, y'all. I had options. So I didn't bend over backwards for just that. Huh? But this government, the people they employ, and again, we think it's going to be some old Will Smith type Men in Black. And yeah, you have those too. But those are minorities. What about that old granny that sits on the front steps across the street from you? You know she might be down. They might hit her off a little $100 a month or whatever. Just keep an eye on them. You don't know what they told her about you. You have people who will end up in bed with you. You think it's real. Damn, this is so good. She treats me. Oh, she's wife material. She an agent. Hitting you off good, making them toes spread. Toes spreading so good and independently, if you put your feet on the keyboard of a piano, you'll play some tunes. But it could be an agent. People in your church. I'm not saying to run around here paranoid, but we open up the filters too much and we don't vet what's around us. We don't. They will do what they need to do. They have the money for it. They toss around billions. All they got to do is print up money. Billions. It ain't worth nothing, but you can spend it for now. And people, trust me, maybe not everybody, but 99.999999999% of the people have their price. You know the old story in the bar. They tell it different, I'll just say it this way. Excuse me, miss. Can I give you $100 to sleep with tonight? Raw dog? I threw that one in. Oh my God, what kind of woman do you think I am? But if I had a way to prove that I'm giving you $1 million, she'd be okay. My room number is 188. I'll be there soon. We don't even know ourselves and how we can compromise ourselves depending on the situation that we're in and our perceptions. And guess what? When they step to you, they already know what you're all about. I've had a lot of times to be compromised in how I stand. They try to stroke me on the ego. They try to stroke me with the promise of if you speak this way, you can make money. Like I said, headline news, and I was on Dr. Drew before I got on there, and all the CNN people, because CNN owns headline news, and they were like, "Oh, Lance, you did say you'd be open to showing your face." I said, "Yeah, it's better for promoting me, and everything else is better for the audience." Okay, we can roll with that. Since we went through your website, and the amount of work that you do, and how many people do you have working for you? At least 15, right? 15 is just me. And my wife helps me by I don't have to cook and do these other things. That helps a whole lot. It's just me and her. So you do the graphics, yes. You do the writing, yes. You set up the shows, yes. I do all of it. Been doing it for years. Driving a bus for 11 hours and a part-time job at night. And hours and hours and hours and hours. Right? Well, maybe we can have an understanding here, because you do seem to be quite adept at speaking on the cuff, and depending on how this goes, we'd like to be able to invite you on a regular basis, which would help you to build your platform, which is already, for someone single-handedly, is incredible. It's incredible. I said, okay, thank you. I said, but I have to be honest and I have to be me. We have no problem with that, but if we find what you say favorable, we will have you back and we will build you up, and you can be on regular, and you'll be the go-to guy. You'll be on TV at least once a week, depending on what goes on. Translation, whenever there's nigger business in America, we'll come to you, but you better say it the way that we want to put a spin on it, because we're going to make you a trusted go-to guy that the masses trust. And you can say a few controversial things. And I knew that's what he meant, because, well, you can still be you, but we have to mold you a certain way. We have to tailor you a certain way. Translation, don't be so radical. See? Yes, that's why, Yapple, I said 99.9999999. They realized I was part of that little tiny percentage that ain't going for it. I don't want to be one of them guys exposed for being this way or exposed. No, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I'm going to be very raw. Close your ears if you can't handle it. Look, if this was back in the day and you brought me some woman that was drop dead gorgeous, you might get me. In this day and age, if you brought me a woman who's drop dead gorgeous, my dick ain't working like it was when I was 20 years old. It still work, but I ain't got nothing to gain from that. You might be bringing me a disease. I'm at that age, and I love it. I can't believe he said that. Yes. The more and more I talk on these shows, I'm not going to hold nothing back. I'm not going to hold nothing back. Well, you need to get them little blue pills. I don't need them, but I don't want them. Look, I didn't even eat yet, y'all. I came on here for 20 minutes. I intended to speak for 20 minutes. It's an hour and 24 minutes. Once my passion takes over, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'd rather see another stone laid on the building that is going to be my legacy, as opposed to, I'll take a day off. That little honey around the corner, we going to chill. Huh? I would be so angry. I would be so angry, because I know time is limited, this artificial thing. And if I did something, I'd tell the world. I'm not going to tell the world if I did something like this, whatever, but I'm saying in all honesty, I am who I am and I'm transparent. And I want to stay that way. That's how I'm still protected. Because when you step out of your mission, you're not protected anymore. You might be protected a little bit for a little time, but it'll all come crashing down. Let me ask you, you all know my past. How could I have been through a couple thousand women in my lifetime when I was younger with a freaky girlfriend who allowed me to do that stuff and not to catch one disease? Because I was protected for this time. And whatever you want to call it, God, the creator, this, to that, it was to preserve me for this time. Now, if I go back living wayward, guess what? I'm on my own. Because I done threw a middle finger up to the creator for protecting me and I'm not doing my assignment. Nigga, you on your own now. You on your own. I look around and I see that I'm 59 years old. I'm like, and time is moving faster for me. My perception of it, every hour, 3 hours goes by. It's already getting ready to get dark now. I didn't even eat breakfast yet, but I don't care because I go on what I'm led to do. I might come in later on and sleep, and that's all I did today. I may come back home after I go out and rattle off 5 more videos and go to sleep. But I will be in the bed and offline by midnight my time, which is 8 o'clock East Coast time. And I'll have some stuff to drop all night. So I'm going to work the agents. I'm going to spread it out. Them agents ain't going to be getting no sleep. They're going to have dark circles in their eyes, and they're going to look like raccoons when they go back to the FBI or the government. What happened to you? This damn man keeps posting all night and all day. Your body got to sleep sometime. You can't be in every chat room. You can't be trying to influence people to be distracted from what the subject is about, unless it's a bunch of y'all, unless you got robots doing the bad boy. I'm unpredictable. I want to make them work. I'm just one little guy. I'm not that important in the whole scheme of things, but I'm one person who I'm not on their side. This is why they do the things they do to me, and I was expecting it. So if this video gets negative 35 hits, I'm joking, they're going to push it down to you. I'm going to be the first YouTuber to have a dash in front of the number of how many people viewed the video. How you going to have 500 hits and or way more thumbs down or what? These numbers are off, y'all. Because when somebody subscribes, I get an email to a certain part of my original email. And I'm looking like, I done had 150 people to subscribe today. But it also says in YouTube analytics that I lost 37. What the hell? It don't work like that. So I must be doing something good. And we're going to do it in an entertaining fashion and fun and make you laugh and get sentimental and nostalgic. We're going to do all of it. And they don't like that because I know how to wrap it. I'm like that chef that don't need no recipe. And I'm dead on with the results that gets on your plate. Like Mr. SCURV, we can be driving home. Well, I think like she said to me the other day, I added cinnamon in the pasta. And then something told me to add this, and I knew how it was going to taste, and I made it, and it came out perfect. So where is it? I ate all of it. You better make me some of that. You know what I mean? That's her gift. They got good cooks out here, but that's her gift. I said, listen, if you blew your nose and ground up some old dirty toenails and put it in there, and you made it with an old muddy boot, I'm going to eat it. And I know it's going to taste good. I'm not that crazy. Okay. I still got to make a run out. I still have to hit this herbal store. And by the advice of someone who I value on a high spiritual level, I may have to stay inside as I cleanse myself, but there's a cleansing otherwise going on because I've been doing my own little thing recently. And if there's anybody that wants to touch a topic, let me know. And we'll do it live or we'll do it recorded or whatever have you. I want to get the blood flowing even more. I want to go hard more so. And we don't need no Viagra to go hard like that, right? We just need our passion. We just need our minds. We need to focus. And when you see something that other people see, speak about it. Just like they tell you in the United States, well, if you see something, report about it. If you see something, come on in and let's talk about it. All right? All right? So on that note, I'm going to move on, do my thing, and I have something else soon to put up for you and some more stuff to do either live or recorded. And go to LANCESCURV.com and check the written work, the articles sometime, you know? So anyway, much love. I will see you in a little while. Peace. Peace, 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 peace. I got to start this over again. This song reminds me of the real big girl, pretty face and everything. She just got a little weight on. She's still sexy, right? All the slim girls dancing, jumping around. All she do is just stand there and rock her hips and whine a little bit. And it's so hypnotic. So to all the big girls who know how to dance without wasting their energy, trust me, you're getting love from me.
To the heat. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they said. It's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out.